Guys, the video I posted last night scared the shit out of me. Not literally, but this fear was so intense that it sent me into this like Ten of Swords spiral, like overthinking, stress, overwhelm, worry. I was paralyzed in this fear. I couldn't make any moves. I was trying to decide if the fear was a signal not to post the video or if I should just post the video in spite of the fear, right? So it took me about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to like work up the courage to actually post the video. And I think the video is great. Like I watched the video, or the message in the video is great. I've watched the video maybe a dozen times already. And the message in the video is great. The fear comes from the chaos, the noise, the distraction in the background of the video. As I mentioned before, back in one of my earlier videos, I live in a very toxic environment, right? This environment it's very chaotic. It's very unhealthy for one's mental and emotional state, right? I live here, and this environment has prevented me from doing this, posting these videos, creating these videos, sharing these videos for the longest time, because I didn't want to be judged, right? I was afraid of being judged by the noise, the chaos, the distractions in the background. I've kind of, found a way to work around it, but the chaos still creeps in from time to time. And I'm a Virgo sun, right? I don't want to say perfectionism, but like purity, cleanliness, right? I like things to be a certain way. So, you guys know that I zone off. Where was I? I like things to be a certain way. So when I listen back to the video, that I recorded, I wear these noise canceling headphones, so I can't hear much of the chaos. But when I listened back to the video, I heard it, and it was like an alarm. And that alarm triggered all of these fears. Like, should I post it? Should I not? I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be looked at funny. Should I do this or should I not? So this fear sent me into, it was debilitating. And it might not seem like much on the outside, but on the inside, I was like in this fetal position. I eventually decided to post the video. But after I posted the video and laid down to go to sleep, I was like tormented by this fear. I was tormented. People are going to judge you. People are going to look at you a certain way. People are going to reject you, right? So the fear, it was so strong that it completely severed my desire to want to continue, right? It severed my desire to want to continue making these videos. I'll just wait, right? I'll just wait until I move. I'll just wait until I'm not in this environment anymore and things will be better. And even that idea of not doing something that I know I'm supposed to be doing, it shattered me. And I asked Spirit, I said, if this isn't it, then what am I supposed to be doing? this isn't it, Spirit, then what am I supposed to be doing, right? I've done everything. I've done everything you asked me to do. I put myself out there when I wanted to stay hidden. I created this platform. You asked me to do it and I did it. So if this isn't it, then what am I supposed to do? And then I went to sleep. Immediately after I went to sleep, I woke up in the tunnel, right? The tunnel that I spoke about in my last reading, or the last video that I posted. This tunnel, this dark tunnel. I woke up there, and up ahead, I saw like, it was like a faint light, like way off in the distance, a golden light, very faint. Everything else was dark, but I was like paralyzed. I was in this fetal position. I was crying. My energy was destroyed, right? I was depressed. I was low. I was feeling hopeless in this tunnel, right? And then I looked behind me and there was a black cord. There was a black cord and I heard follow it, right? Follow the cord. So I crawled. I crawled and I followed this black cord. I followed it deeper into the tunnel. And at the end of the cord, there was the black sheep from my black sheep card. And the black sheep represents rejection, right? It represents being cast out, outcast. It represents not fitting in. And I recognize this black sheep as something that I inherited during childhood, right? And as soon as I saw the black sheep, I was like, oh, it's you. It's you. And then it just disappeared, right? So this fear that attempted to alter my path or sever my connection to something that I desire, right? Something that I know I'm supposed to have, some place that I know I'm supposed to be, right? This fear that attempted to create a dead end for me. It was connected to the past. It was connected to early conditioning. It was connected to childhood trauma, right? And as soon as I recognized what it was, or as soon as I acknowledged it for what it was, the fear, it disappeared, right? And then I got up, I stood up, and I turned around and I started walking towards the light. In my last video, I talked a lot about how anchoring in or connecting with the soul's desire, or a desire that you have for yourself, some place you know you're supposed to be, something you know you're supposed to be doing, someone you know you're supposed to be with, anchoring that in, it's like a golden cord, a golden emotional cord that's going to pull you in that direction. So in my dream, I got up and I started walking again back in that direction. And then when I woke up, I felt like empowered, right? All of that mental confusion, mental destruction, emotional depression, feeling down and out, it was gone, right? It had been alchemized in my dream. So I say all of that, or I'm telling this story because maybe it might help someone else. It might help someone else understand that the answer, it doesn't matter. I'm seeing the phoenix. I'm seeing the phoenix. So the phoenix in the ash, in the tunnel, It has to do the work. It has to do the work to untangle itself from these cords of the past, these painful emotional cords. It has to do the work to untangle, dissolve these cords so that it can rise, because it doesn't matter how high the phoenix attempts to rise if there's still these emotional cords binding it to the past. So the alchemy has to be done in the shadows, in the tunnels, in the darkness, in the underworld, right? These energies may have very well been projections, right? Because a lot of people project onto me, right? A lot of people project their energies onto me. So these energies, these fears may have been projected onto me. There are a lot of people who would prefer to see me die in that tunnel, right? Prefer to see me never get up. Prefer to see me stay in that state of mental distress, emotional depression, because for them, if I'm down, it means they're up, right? Even if it's only superficially, right? If they see me down, it means they're doing better. So these energies may have very well been a projection or projections from external sources, but the only way that a projection can stick is if it has something of resonance to attach to. And for me, in this situation, the resonance, the resonating frequency was that fear of being perceived in a certain way, right? That fear of being judged. That was the resonating frequency that these projections attached to. And as soon as they found something of attachment, it like dragged me down. It dragged me way, way, way down. And I haven't been that down in a long time. And I could have stayed down, you know? Well, no, it's not in me to stay down, right? But if you find yourself in these positions where you're feeling down, it's an opportunity. Look at it as an opportunity for alchemy, right? That situation that happened last night was an opportunity for me to identify a weak spot, a weak point, an entry point, right? There was an entry point. There was an entry point in my energetic field. And through shadow exploration, even if it happened in my dreams, right? Through shadow exploration, shout out to my team, my spiritual team, for helping guide me through this. Even if it happened in my dreams, the shadow exploration, following the cord back to its source, right? Following, where's this fear coming from? What is this fear? Where is it coming from? Following it all the way back to its source, identifying it, acknowledging it, and alchemizing it, right? We don't have to feel this fear, right? It's okay, I understand, I get it, but we don't have to feel this fear. Even if we do feel the fear, we don't have to let it dominate us, right? Control us. And that's the alchemical magic that I was talking about in my last reading. That's the alchemy. And then I realized that there's absolutely nothing for me to be afraid of, because I know who I am. I'm not the one being chaotic, right? These chaotic energies are around me. These chaotic energies are not me, right? So there's no reason for me to feel a fear of being judged by someone else's actions. And then I thought, like, sharing that video might discredit me, right? It might discredit me a little bit, because why is she there? Why is she there? Why doesn't she just move? And then I had the realization that I had to sacrifice a lot for my gifts, right? I gave up a lot of material things to become the high priestess, right? I gave up everything to connect deeper with myself, to connect with my higher self, to be able to alchemize in my dreams, right? I gave up a lot of material things for personal power. So I've been in this environment for a while now, and the only thing that's got me through it is keeping my eye on the prize, right? This isn't my destiny. This isn't my final destination. I know where I'm supposed to be, and this isn't it. So I'm just going to keep going until I get there. And being in this environment, it awakened so much more of my gifts, right? My knowledge, right? Because there have been so many opportunities for me to alchemize energies, right? So many opportunities for me to identify weak spots, weak points in my energetic field, strengthen my energetic field. And in order for me to do that, I had to go within, right? Go within that, go into that dark tunnel and explore, right? I had to become comfortable with navigating the shadows, navigating the underworld, my own personal subconscious. And in doing that, learning to understand my own subconscious, also it lifted a veil of consciousness to now I'm able to see into other people's subconscious, right? I see subconscious energies everywhere, right? And this is a gift that I sacrificed a lot for, and a gift that was necessary for the work that I'm called to do. So, yeah, evolution takes place in the shadows. Alchemy takes place in the shadows. Don't run from your fears. Don't try to suppress your fears. Instead, follow your fears back to the source, follow them back to the roots, identify the root cause, alchemize that energy, and then you'll be able to rise more powerfully, right? Rise with all of your power from the shadows. Okay, that's all I've got. Bye, guys.